And so we are back again. What's going on, guys? RapGod Gaming here, and welcome back to another video. And welcome back to part 2 of ranking Sonic, the Sonic mainline game franchise. In our previous video, we ranked the classic games, as you can see here. So now we'll be doing the adventure era games. So yeah. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. So before we begin, I just want to make sure tell you all this first. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't seen this, and leave in the comments below what your thoughts on the games are. And I'd love to hear from all of them. And if you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check that out. Also, just a reminder for the rules: 1, we're only doing mainline games, no racing games or spin-off games, and this is all my opinion based only, so my opinions are going to be completely different from yours, most definitely, as well as others, so please respect that in the comments below. Alright, so anyways, as you can, in case you guys haven't noticed, I did add a few new games, since some of you guys mentioned that I missed a few, so I did add some. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started with the first game, Sonic Adventure from 1998 for the Dreamcast, or 1999 outside of Japan. Sonic's very first 3D game. I love Sonic Adventure. This is one of my favorite 3D Sonic games of all time. If you've been on the channel for a while, you may know that this is a game I frequently play on live streams. At first, when I was always a bit tough on it, but I love it now. Ryan Drummond as Sonic was a great casting choice. That is my Sonic, and he will always be my Sonic. Speaking of which, a lot of some people were asking what I think about the voice actors. I love Ryan Drummond. I love him as Sonic. I was a bit hateful on Jason Griffith when I first heard him, but I like him now, and I don't really like Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. Also, and yeah, I like Jaleel White. I've always loved Jaleel White. But anyways, this game is amazing and a great first step for transitioning Sonic to 3D. So props to Sega. Of course, there are 2 versions of this game. There's the original for the Dreamcast, and then there's Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, which is a port, which is what I play a lot. And people always say the port is the worst version, but I truly don't find any difference between the 2. I've played both of them, and I've never had any issues with either of them. They're practically the same game. So honestly, I don't know what people need to stop saying that. But anyways, yeah, I am the idea. A lot of people debate whether or not this or Sonic Adventure 2 is better. I like this game. I think the hub world is great. Is really cool. The hub worlds, the level designs are awesome. My favorite levels in this game are Emerald Coast and Red Mountain and Speed Highway. In fact, Speed Highway is my all-time favorite. The voice cast is awesome. The music, again, great. In fact, if life has taught me anything, it's that every Sonic game never disappoints with its music. Now, of course, this game isn't perfect. It has its flaws. There are, for one thing, all the characters in this game has all the different characters with all their different play styles, and of course we've got all sorts of stuff. We of course have the speed stages with Sonic, which is your average Sonic level, of course, which of course is my favorite stages, like anyone else. And the Sonic's is also the longest, and he can and I believe, except for Hot Shelter, every stage is available to him. In fact, you're going to be playing as Sonic for most of this game, so yeah. The bosses for Sonic are pretty good. When it comes to Tails, I'm pretty neutral about Tails. Like, his stages aren't horrible. They're basically the same as Sonic, but instead you're just racing him. So, yeah, I have nothing against him. In fact, in fact, I think these are better than the stages in Sonic Adventure 2, but I'll get into that later. So, but yeah, Tails stages are okay. The Knuckles stages, or the treasure hunting stages, I enjoy a lot too. I know a lot of people don't really like the Knuckles stages all that much, but I actually don't mind them at all. I think they're pretty fun. It gives you a chance to explore more frequently and see more of the world around you. So yeah, in fact, I think the Knuckles stages are underrated and they get too much hate, especially in SA2, but again, I'll get to that later. So yeah, the Knuckle stages are fun. Now, as for Amy, I do not like the Amy stages. I absolutely hate Amy stages. They are just one of the most boring stages of all time. Sure, they give off a little bit of exploration, but you don't really have of time for that because of course you're being chased by a robot the whole time. And she has the shortest story ever, and I just find her levels to be so boring. And truly, this is one of the things I don't like about Sonic Adventure 2. Not Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 1. I keep mixing them up. So yeah, she's only got like 3 stages, and she has like one boss, and her boss is like the most one of the most unmemorable bosses ever in a Sonic game ever. Like truly. And what's even more crazy is she really has no reason to be in this game. Like, I bet you they could have still made it work without Amy. But I mean, so yeah, I do not like the Amy stages, but I like them. But they're a lot better than the other stages. You might be able to guess what I'm talking about. That's right. Yeah, Big the Cat stages. I absolutely hate the cat stages way more than Amy's. They are way more boring. In fact, that's literally almost everyone I know who's played this game. That's one of the things everyone hates about it. They're boring, and Big the Cat has no reason to be here whatsoever. Sega literally should have just gave him his own spin-off game. And yeah, and what's worse, he has like 4 stages, so he's got more than Amy. And yeah, you're just fishing for Froggy, and the game does not tell you how to reel in fish. You gotta figure that out for yourself, which is absolute bullshit. And it just takes so goddamn forever. It's janky, and yeah, this is literally the worst part of a playthrough when it comes to Sonic Adventure, and yeah, I'd rather play the Amy stages than play on repeat than play this shit, because it's absolutely despisable. They are absolutely boring. It's absolutely boring. Big also has one boss battle, and it's not even, and I don't even know if you can really call it a boss. You're just trying to fish Froggy out of Chaos 6, so yeah, literally the most boring part of the game by far. And then of course there's E102 Gamma, who in my opinion, has probably one of the best story arcs of any Sonic character. I like the character. I don't really care for his stages, but they're better than Big the Cat. But yeah, the E102 Gamma stages are just very bland. You know, there's barely anything to do. It's just you shooting over and over, and I just find it pretty boring. In fact, I think the Amy stages are better than Gamma's, but Gamma's stages are way better than Big's. Because at least you're actually doing something. So yeah, all in all, I think Gamma has one of the best story arcs in the game. In Sonic history, the idea of him rebelling against Dr. Eggman after seeing all his fellow brothers be destroyed is awesome. And honestly, I didn't think his boss was all that bad. In fact, it was better than Amy or Biggs by far. It's a real shame we don't get to see him anymore. So, So yeah, basically, once you do all that, you get to the final stage, and where you play as Super Sonic and you take on Perfect Chaos, which is probably one of my favorite bosses of all, final bosses of all time. Open Your Heart is also one of my favorite Crush 40 songs. In fact, Crush 40 is one of my favorite bands. So all in all, Sonic Adventure, it's a great start to the 3D series. It's got a good story. There are parts of the game that I don't like, of course, but it still holds up to this day regardless, and nothing anyone says will change my mind. So yes, so yeah, I'm going to be putting Sonic Adventure in the A tier, because it's not bad, but it's not amazing either. But it still has anything. But next we're getting to a much better game that I like the most. Yeah, I'm talking about Sonic Adventure 2 from 2001 for the Dreamcast, and the final Sonic game on Dreamcast. Rest in peace, Dreamcast. Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite Sonic game of all time. In fact, I've said that many times on the channel before. I've done it on live streams. Before the Jurassic Park video, my Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay was my most viewed video, because I love this game so much. In fact, I believe this might have been my first 3D Sonic game. It's gotten, and for good reason too. The game, in fact, now a lot of people say, "Oh, this is worse than the first game somehow," and that is not true. I think it is so much better in every way. This game is nostalgic, and also I also play the PC port when I'm on stream, and that also too. Everyone says it's the worst version, but I don't have any problem with it. And yeah. And what now? One of the why I like this game so much more than the first one is the fact that while it is a shame there are no hub worlds, if you're not counting the Chow Garden. That's another thing I forgot to mention. The Chow Garden is really cool, but yeah, while it's a shame there's no hub worlds, but honestly, it doesn't bother me enough to stop me from liking it. The game has again great soundtrack. And all the levels are really cool. In fact, Green Forest is probably my favorite level in this game. Well, I guess in terms of Sonic stages. Yeah, the Sonic and Shadow stages I like. But speaking of which, Shadow is my favorite character, for those who were wondering in the last video. I believe he has the best backstory and the best arc, redemption arc ever. And yeah. And also, he has a really cool voice. David Humphrey did a great job with his voice, especially when working with Drummond. So yeah. Also, I love Sonic's shoes in this game. I've always been wanting to own a pair of soap shoes. But yeah, of course, there's the Sonic stages I love. And when it comes to the rest of the game, most people don't like. When it comes to the treasure hunting stages, I know most people really hate them so much, but truth is, I truly do not mind the treasure hunting stages at all. In fact, I actually really like them. I find them very innovative and creative, even though it is a real big shame that the tracker for the emeralds for the pieces of the emerald, the Master Emerald, don't work anymore, and you have to do it in order, or just hope that you find one while you're on your way. But I still think it's pretty good. When it comes to the mech stages, however, that's probably my least favorite part of the game. Just like Gamma's, the mech stages are extremely boring, and I do not care one bit for them. I only want to play the Sonic stages and the treasure hunting stages. Now, and then of course we've got the most iconic song in the franchise, "Live and Learn." Sadly, I'm not gonna play that because again, I don't want to get copyright striked or getting sued by Sega, which is a real big shame. In fact, that's probably one of my favorite Crush 40 songs of all time. So yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is arguably the better game than me, mainly because you've got the two stories. The hero story and the dark story, and you've only got three things that you have to complete. And What's more better is the fact that like each character has their own unique level, which is instead of like you're just playing the same exact level but with a different layout. I find that much better. Also, I think it has a better story, and plus it's got Shadow in it, and Shadow is awesome. So how can I not like it? So yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 it still holds up today, and even some of the younger generation still know of it, which surprises me. So, with that out of the way, Sonic Adventure 2 gets an instant S tier. Sorry to all you Sonic Adventure 1 lovers, but it just is the better game. So now moving on to a new to our next game that is going to be an interesting one. Sonic Advance 1. Oof, this is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Okay, so in short, I didn't grow up playing Sonic Advance. I didn't play those. In fact, I didn't play this until like recently. And yeah, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Sonic, this I didn't really like this game all that much. And what's crazy is that it's not even canon. But like honestly. Even despite being the first Sonic game to be released on something that wasn't Sega, it just doesn't really do it all that well for me. I mean, you've got you have to beat the whole game to unlock Amy, which I think is kind of stupid. And I'm gonna be brutally honest. There's nothing more. So yeah, I'm not really gonna have much to say about this, but. Sonic Advance is pretty much a hit or miss for most people, and for me, it is a miss. So but I didn't hate it, so I'll put it in the D tier, at minimum. So yeah. Now moving on, moving on. Sonic Advance 2. Now this I actually have never played this game before. I am planning on playing it, but. Yeah, I've never actually played this before. I never really got into the advanced games. So, yeah, I'll be placing Sonic Advance 2 in the never played tier. Oh yeah, if I've never played a game on this list, then it's going in there, because it doesn't seem fair to rank something I've never played, despite what the reviews may say. So, yeah, moving on, we now have Sonic Heroes. The first 3D Sonic game to be released outside of a Sega console. Oof. Where do I really begin with this one? I'm gonna be brutally honest with y'all. I'm pretty neutral when it comes to Sonic Heroes. I didn't play this a whole lot as a kid. Mainly because I played it on the PS2, which... I guess they were not kidding when they said it was the worst. That's the worst version of this game. Sonic Heroes, like, don't get me wrong. Sonic Heroes is a fun game, and I enjoy it a lot. I always have, but it just doesn't cut it for me like the rest of the games do, especially the adventure games. I mean, like the concept of hear me out. The concept of you got different teams to play as. Is a cool thing. We got Team Sonic, we got Team Dark, we got Team Rose, and we got Team Chaotix. Those, and yeah, hey, Shadow's alive, so that's cool. But all in all, what I don't like about this is the fact that like you're just playing the game. You have to replay the game over and over again to fully beat it, and like not in a good way. Like, hear me out. In Sonic Adventure 1, of course, we've got, and Sonic Adventure 2, of course, we've got, like, well, actually, mainly Sonic Adventure 1, we got all those, all the different characters, but, like, but we all have, all the stages are the same for each character, but, all the stages have a different layout for each character, making every playthrough of it unique. But whereas with Sonic Heroes, you're playing through the exact same stage with no changes, no matter what team you're playing. I mean, sure, there's like different ways to beat it. There's like different sort of cuts for each team, but that's really about it. You're just replaying the same stages over and over again. Uh, and also the teams really have no difference, because like Team Sonic is just like, average gameplay. Team Dark is the hardest. Team Rose is the easiest, and then with Team Chaotix, you're just it's just average. It's just the same game, but you just have to, but with adding an extra objective to collect stuff, which I do not like Team Chaotix's gameplay in this, but other than that, none of the characters really do anything different other than like the different team blasts, but still, it's really the same exact game. And that just does, it's not that I don't like the game, but I just don't really have the will to play the game, the same exact game, like 4 different times, and because there's nothing really any different about it. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it, like. Really, I'm kind of just better off playing the game as Team Sonic, and then just downloading a save file and a file with before the full thing. Like, I mean, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's not. I will say though, now when it comes to the level designs, this game has great level designs and great music. I love Seaside Hill. But and the levels hold up, and the music also holds up. But that's really all about it. So, the game is don't get me wrong. I love Sonic Heroes, and I always will. But I didn't really grow up with it that much. And honestly, maybe if there was maybe if there was at least something somewhat different about it, like Sonic Adventure, it'd be more fun. But no, you're just playing the same exact game but with different characters. The objective is still the same. I guess with Team Chaotix, there's more of a spin to it, but not a very good one. So yeah. All in all, Sonic Heroes. I know a lot of people love it, but for me, I like it, but and I'll put it in the B tier, since it's not horrible, but and still memorable. Now we move on to the next game in the series, and I'm not even gonna bother pulling up the box art because it's gonna be really short. We got Sonic Advance 3, and I didn't play this game, so I have no opinion on it. So, yeah, moving on. I'll have to play that in the future, too. But moving on, we have Shadow the Hedgehog, the first ever violent Sonic game in history. This was an interesting take on the Sonic franchise, but in short, really, Sega was just trying to do what everyone else was. For those who don't know, the gaming market was going in a much different direction during the early 2000s, mainly due to the release of games like Halo and other first-person shooters. So, and Sonic and the platforming genre simply weren't really cutting it anymore. So Sega decided to give what more people wanted, and that was a violent Sonic game with guns and swearing, and that's how we got Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog with a Glock pistol and him swearing. Oh, and he has a motorcycle, which is pretty cool, but also I don't know why he needs it. That's some things are questionable about this game. Like, why does Shadow need a motorcycle when he's already extremely fast? I feel like wouldn't the motorcycle just make him slower? Also, why does Shadow need a gun when he can just attack things with a spin dash or something? Which, from the looks of it, from what we've seen so far, is probably more powerful than a pistol. But again, at the same time, this is Shadow the Hedgehog, not Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, for Jason Griffith's first game, he did pretty good as both Sonic and Shadow. So yeah, for those who haven't played the game at all, the game is pretty much as follows. after the events of Sonic Heroes, Shadow has no memory of what happened. All he can remember is his name and who Maria was, and you're going to be seeing that a lot in the future. Basically, this game expands more on Shadow's lore, but the main idea is that the player, decides whether or not Shadow is going to be a good guy, a bad guy, or neutral. And you do this by going to the menu and then selecting the mission. You have the hero mission, the dark mission, and the neutral mission. The hero mission revolves around you usually helping out characters like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, or something like that, and usually the objective is to take out the evil aliens, or if you choose the dark mission where you side with Black Doom, leader of the Black Arms, and on one occasion Eggman, you basically have to take out the good guys, and then there's the neutral path where it's just you completing the mission without any extra objectives. So yeah, and what makes this game so annoying is that it has like at least 10 different endings, and 9 of which aren't even canon. Since you have to replay the game 9 times to get the true ending, and you get those endings by pretending basically based on the choices you make. So yeah. Not only and let's be honest, this game, if you've played this game, it really just isn't worth replaying 9 times. All the other games, the music is great, but the level design is not very good. In fact, it's just there's not really any. It's pretty crowded, and it's just full of guys just shooting you, and yeah, and really nothing else. And basically, it's just and honestly, when you're first playing this, you're better off just doing the neutral mission. It's not worth it. But yeah, the game's janky. The animations for the game are pretty bad, and it's just Shadow, and you're just really shooting people around. So really, it's just Sega's attempt to try to be something they're not. But like I said, this is Shadow the Hedgehog. This is how he deals with things. So yeah, not only do you have to beat the game like 10 times, but also it's just not really worth all those times. Honestly, if you haven't played it, you're better off just watching a gameplay of it. And yeah, 9 of those endings aren't even canon. They're all just what if stories, really. So yeah, all in all, but yeah, the game's janky, and a lot of it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I will say though, it gave us one of the best songs of all time. I Am All of Me. I love that song so bad. I'm not playing it though, sadly, because again, copyright. But yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. It was pretty bad game, and but I will say it had potential. But the game just kind of came out at the wrong time. Really, it came out during a time when nobody cared about a fast hedgehog saving the world. People just wanted guns in it, but not even guns and swearing could save this game. In fact, this is the only game I believe where that's rated E10 plus. So yeah, all in all, this game's pretty forgetful. So yeah, honestly, Shadow the Hedgehog, pretty big, massive failure, which is a real shame. I thought it had potential, but no. I'm giving it a D. I'll give it a D tier though, just because it's not insanely bad, and plus it's got music. So yeah. But anyways, that is the what I consider to be the Dreamcast, the Dreamcast era of Sonic, or the Adventure era, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we're gonna end there for today. We'll pick up where we left in the next episode. And hopefully we'll finish off everything else. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of this of my tier list in the comments section below, and I'll see you all in the next run. Bye.